Welcome, Sens Talk.
Russell winds in, feeds it back across the strike, and scores! Brady Tkachuk makes it 2-0. Cole Caufield, in alone, scores!
Tim Stutzel across, Tkachuk score! The captain, Brady Tkachuk, buries it with 1:18 to go.
See you later. Go, Sens, go.
Welcome to Sens Talk. My name is Brandon Plant, and I am your host tonight. Ottawa took on the Washington Capitals in the Battle of Capitals as Ottawa looks to win 3 straight games. The Ottawa Senators have been on an absolute tear as of late. They've won 10 out of their last 16 games, going 10-3-3 during that stretch. Ottawa as well, going to this game, has gotten 7 out of their last 8 points against some real tough teams. Obviously beating Tampa Bay last Monday. They would end up losing in overtime to the Florida Panthers, literally one of the best teams in the National Hockey League. Then you get Dallas in Ottawa on Thursday, where Ottawa beats them 4-1 Norris with a couple goals. And Ottawa, most impressively in that one, held Dallas to just 15 shots. And then they come up with a huge victory on Saturday against the Vegas Golden Knights in a shootout to improve their chances at potentially going on a crazy run to a playoff spot. Still a very slim chance, but winning 10 out of 16, only 3 of those games in the last 16 games have been losses in regulation. A very good stretch as of late for the Ottawa Senators. They're now not even last in the Atlantic Division, so baby steps here, guys. Baby steps. But it's a little disappointing because of exams and stuff. I had to miss Thursday and Saturday's games. Couldn't post videos. I was able to watch some parts of the game, but I had to focus on school. Luckily, though, we're done with exams and stuff, but my goodness, after 2 great games to get the one we had tonight, it's a little disappointing because I couldn't do videos on those 2, but nonetheless, we'll break down tonight's game. But before we get into the game recap, I want to say thank you to all of you that have nominated us for 5 different nominations at this year's 2024 Ottawa Awards. It's an absolute honor. Last year, of course, we won one. We were nominated for multiple. We won one last year for Best YouTube Channel in Ottawa in 2023. So you know what? It's an honor to be nominated, but once you're nominated, you might as well win this thing. Plus, we might as well defend our title. So if you wanted to vote for us for, Best YouTube Channel and a few other nominations under the digital and social and media categories, I'll put the link to that in the description and comment section down below. Your support is very much appreciated. Just being nominated once again is an absolute honor. But if you wanted to vote for us to get us the wins in those nomination categories, feel free to do so. I'll put the link to that in the description below. Now, like I already mentioned, Ottawa is doing far better as of late. They're sneaking their way up the standings step by step, little bit by little bit. Still a long way to go, but the vibes are certainly better. As Anton Forsberg starts tonight in his 4th straight start in his whole career, he's 5-1 against Washington. So in his 6 games against the Caps, he's won 5 of them. Things are looking good going into this one. But here's where the things begin to go downhill for the Ottawa Senators. Artem Zub remains out. He did not skate today as well in practice this morning. I don't think he'll be back for tomorrow's game against Nashville. So hopefully Zub will be back soon, because that is, as you'll see tonight, a massive loss that's continued to plague the Ottawa Senators. Now, and I just want to note something, by the way, before we get into the game recap. Jakob Chychrun and Travis Hamonic were pairing today. Just keep that in mind. So let's go to the game. And, that's a hell of a foreshadow, I think, because literally 6 minutes into this one, Jakob Chychrun, my goodness, a terrible pinch. 2-1 going the other way for the Capitals, and they strike. It's Protas giving the Caps the 1-0 lead to score first in this one. Jakob Chychrun was brutal in this first period, and this was the beginning of that. A terrible pinch, leaving Hamonic alone on the 2-1. By the way, Hamonic wasn't looking so hot on that 2-1 either. He couldn't really pick between the shooter or the pass. So he kind of just flailed there until it was too late. The Capitals took advantage of that. So I'm not going to blame Hamonic, of course. That's Chychrun's fault to leave him in that vulnerable position. But Hamonic certainly did not make things any better as the Caps would strike. And then 2 minutes later, after another brutal mistake from Jakob Chychrun, uncontested delay of game by Jakob Chychrun, literally a minute and a half later, the Capitals would get a power play, and they would take advantage and strike on that power play. John Carlson makes it 2-0 for the Capitals, as Anton Forsberg absolutely wants to stop on that one. He needs to stop that one. That is a weak shot from the top of the hash mark that beats them cleanly 5-hole. Unbelievable. The Senators cannot get any consistent goaltending, no matter what. Sure, yeah, the goalies might play better for a few games here and there in a row, but they'll crash down to earth, and they've certainly done so today. A terrible goal allowed there by Anton Forsberg, but don't fret, don't fret. The Sens are 3-1-2 this year when trailing down by 2. So you know what? While things might look bleak for the Ottawa Senators, it's actually the contrary, as the Ottawa Senators kind of have the Caps right where they want them. And guess what? A few minutes later, after Karlsson makes it 2-0, Drake Batherson, after a steal from behind the net on Kemper from Shane Pinto and Brady Tkachuk, the pass goes right out front to Batherson, who waits out Kemper and puts one home. They give Ottawa a chance in this one. It's a 2-1 game. Back-to-back games with a goal for Drake Batherson as well, as Ottawa cuts the lead to 1. As I just mentioned, Shane Pinto with Brady Tkachuk forced that turnover behind the net. He passed it out. Shane Pinto now has a point in the game. Most importantly, when Shane Pinto gets a point, look at your screen right now, the Senators have won their last 12 games when he does so. Shout out to Brent Wallace for that stat. And things continue going Ottawa's way and Shane Pinto's way, as 2 minutes later, Shane Pinto tips one home. Tie game 2-2. Pinner with his second point of the game as Ottawa comes back. It's 2-2 as the Sens, for the third time in 4 games, have come back down 2-0 to tie it at 2 with 2 goals in 90 seconds. Shane Pinto, Ottawa, by the way, like I've already mentioned, 12 straight wins with him scoring, or getting a point, I should say. He has 12 points in 14 games this year, with an absolute unreal start to the year for Shane Pinto. I put out a tweet that Habs Twitter is reacting to, I should say. You can see on your screen here. Shane Pinto is better than Cole Caufield. I stand by that. That might sound biased. Probably is a little bit, but look, my reasoning and thought behind this is very simple. Cole Caufield, great player, great goal scorer, not taking anything away from him. Shane Pinto is going to be a better player overall on both ends of the ice, which is more valuable for any team. And most importantly, he's a great, great center, and centers are always more valuable than wingers. So Habs Twitter might be throwing me through the ringer, so to say, but in reality, I stand by it. I mean, a center is usually going to be more valuable than a winger, especially a well-rounded face-off winning center that can play a 200-foot game like Shane Pinto. So I stand by that, and he can score a lot as well. 12 points in 14 games. Some people could say that's unsustainable. Look at his stats last year. 20 goals in a top 6 role as a rookie. It's not unsustainable. This guy's just that good. So we continue on now. Like I just mentioned, Ottawa, 3 of their last 4 games, has come back down 2-0. Like I said, as I said at the beginning of this video, let's crash down back to earth. As 6 minutes later, Max Pacioretty with his first goal in 17 games. Another one that Anton Forsberg definitely wants back as the Capitals strike to make it 3-2 for them on the power play. Another glove side goal here for Anton Forsberg. Unlike Korpisalo, Forsberg usually can stop the one's glove side. Not here, as the Caps lead by 1 again. And this is a goal that Forsberg must stop. He doesn't. And then literally 15 seconds later, I can't really blame Forsberg too much on this, as Jakob Chychrun with a deep pinch, leaving the Sens to scramble back the other way. Chabot with a terrible backhand turnover, and the Caps will strike as Ottawa is in disarray in their defensive zone. The Caps will go into the first intermission up by 2. It's 4-2 Washington, and a disaster of a period for the Ottawa Senators. Jakob Chychrun in particular, 3 of those goals were directly on him. 2 of them of which being on the ice, and then of course that penalty as well. Just can't have it. That penalty resulting in the power play goal literally 10 seconds later. And then of course for Anton Forsberg, 10 shots in that period for Washington, 4 goals. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's unbelievable. 600 save percentage. Are you kidding me? That will not cut it. So we go to the second period, and of course Jonas Korpisalo will come in. That was a little shocking for me, to be honest with you. Ottawa, as I already mentioned, plays the Preds tomorrow. It's a back-to-back situation. You would have figured, or I would have figured anyways, that Anton Forsberg would have been given the opportunity to battle this out, especially after a strong stretch of games as of late. And as well, Korpisalo was going to, of course, be starting tomorrow. Now, I don't really know. Probably he will start. I don't think you put Forsberg in after that, game today. But I was a little surprised once again because it's a back-to-back situation. I think you should have given Forsberg an opportunity to fight back there. A couple of brutal goals, sure, but he's been solid as of late. He stole a couple of games as of late. And Korpisalo hasn't exactly been better as of late, right? So I'm not saying I disagree with the move. I'm just a little surprised by the move. But at the same time, I mean, 4 goals on 10 shots. you can't blame Jacques Martin for trying something. So anyways, we go to the second period of play, and 90 seconds in, things are looking good for Ottawa as Korpisalo is in. Maybe that gives Ottawa a bump as Brady Tkachuk, Al Capitano, puts one home. 4-3 game, 1 goal deficit again. Vladdy Tarasenko with a nice pass after a turnover in the neutral zone by Shane Pinto, who gets another point tonight. He's been a part of all of Ottawa's goals tonight, easily been Ottawa's best player, as Ottawa's down only by 1 once again. But 30 seconds later, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You really just can't make this stuff up. Korpisalo cannot hold his post. Lapierre takes advantage on a rebound. The Capitals go up by 2 again. It's 5-3. I mean, you just can't make it up. I don't know. The goaltending, it's so inconsistent. The only thing consistent with the goaltending is how inconsistent it is, and I've said that so often. It's such a joke because no matter who's in net for Ottawa, the goals are going to go in for Washington. That continues here 9 minutes later. I mean, it's just... I can't blame Korpisalo for this one. This one is entirely on Travis Hamonic, who, for the love of God, I mean, look at your screen. Fan shot, 2-1 the other way. No chance here for Korpisalo. Literally, how is he going to stop that one? As, of course, Lapierre takes advantage. Back-to-back goals in a span of less than 10 minutes. The Capitals are up by 3 now at 6-3. Can't blame Korpisalo for that one. That first one for Korpisalo you can blame. 3 out of 4 on Forsberg you can blame. So, goaltending to blame for sure tonight for Ottawa. 1 goal is not going to change that for sure. But with Hamonic, once again, my God, this guy cannot hold the puck if his life depended on it. Sometimes it works out, I'll be honest. That Pinto goal, for example, sometimes it works out, the slap shot from the point from Hamonic. But at the same time, I mean, like, you know, sometimes it does this, where you fan on the shot, he doesn't have the wheels to get back, it's an odd man rush the other way, and the Sens get screwed with a player that, frankly, is not Zdeno Chara. This is not Thomas Chabot. You should probably hold on to that puck and give it to a more skilled player, no offense to Hamonic. He's still better than me, of course, he's in the National Hockey League. But let's be real, he's not the best player on the ice. He should hold that puck and give Ottawa much more offensive zone time instead of a failed slap shot with multiple bodies out front. It was just a stupid decision there by a veteran defenseman who knows better. He's had some great seasons in the National Hockey League. He knows better. Terrible mistake. As Ottawa goes into the third period, down by 3, it's 6-3. And that will be our final score. Literally nothing happened. I mean, nothing happened in the third period of play. So I won't even talk about it. Ottawa loses 6-3 to the Washington Capitals as they drop to 25-28-3 on the year. Well, Washington, with a few games in hand, they're back in the playoff race. They're only 4 points out of third in the Metro. They're only 5 or 6 points out of a wild card spot, if I'm not mistaken, with multiple games in hand as well. So a huge win for the Capitals, and they deserved it. They deserved a big-time 6 goals, some impressive goals there, but at the same time, there were some bad ones. So a couple of nice goals for the Capitals, but 4 out of 6 tonight were entirely on Ottawa's goaltending. And I don't know how any team's going to win when you have goaltending like that on a consistent basis. Sure, Forsberg has played far better as of late in his last 3 starts going into this one. But then, once again, just another stinker. That's something we've seen quite often with Anton Forsberg this year. And yeah, I guess Korpisalo played marginally better. I mean, marginally. I mean, 1 out of 2 goals was his fault. Are we supposed to clap for that? I mean, the goaltending is a massive, massive issue. We've seen rumors about UC Saros, the Ottawa Senators inquiring on the top 5 goaltender in the National Hockey League. I'm all on board for that. I'll do a Let's Talk video on that hopefully very soon. I am all on board for that. I am all on board for that. This team is not going to go anywhere without, a real defensive defenseman for one, which is something else. But more importantly, solid goaltending. No team can win a Stanley Cup, make the playoffs, do anything without consistent goaltending. Goaltending can bail out bad teams. Bad goaltending can screw good teams. And that's what's happening right now for the Ottawa Senators. So, you see Saros? I mean, I don't know. Hopefully Steve Stamkos is cooking something up. But speaking of cooking things up, Shane Pinto tonight was fantastic with a goal and 2 assists in just under 17 minutes of ice time, 16-12. He had a hit as well and a shot on goal, of course, being that goal. But other than that, terrible night for a lot of our defensemen, particularly Jakob Chychrun, who was just brutal tonight in under 20 minutes, 18-32. He had a block, I suppose, 3 shots on goal. But that penalty, those 3 goals that were frankly on him, some bad pinches, some really, really bad decision-making, plays there from Chychrun in this one. And I understand that being paired with Hamonic will hurt any defenseman. That's just been the statistical evidence we've seen with guys being paired with Hamonic this year. But that doesn't excuse the lazy back check on, you know, that Hamonic goal there where Chychrun was a little up as well. And, of course, that inexcusable penalty in the offensive zone in the first period of play that resulted in a power play goal. So, as a veteran like Chychrun is, you have to do better. You have to do better. I also just wanted to mention Brady Tkachuk's game. 1 goal, 2 assists as well. 3 shots on goal, 3 hits, and a block in just under 17 minutes of ice time. I thought he played fantastic. He really stood out, no doubt about it. He was all over the ice. You know, he's really battling there with guys like Tom Wilson, for example, which shouldn't be too shocking, obviously. They're both physical guys. But other than that, Parker Kelly's another guy, I suppose, that can get a shutout. I mean, in just under 13 minutes of ice time, the fourth liner at 4 hits and 3 blocks. Definitely a high-energy game there for Parker Kelly. But yeah, besides that, Ottawa didn't really do much. Once again, they only put on 21 shots tonight. They allowed 20, so not a high-event game. But Ottawa's goaltending screwed the Senators. And, you know, if you look at the block shots, Washington blocked 28. So, you know, Washington did a very good job as well at nulling any of Ottawa's opportunities. And they took advantage of the blunders by Ottawa's goaltending. So besides that, I'll see you in the next one. We play tomorrow against the Nashville Predators. Maybe future Ottawa Center goalie UC Saros will be starting in that one. Probably he will be, but we'll see. But yeah, besides that, thank you all for watching. I appreciate your support. And I'll see you all in the next one. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section as always. I'll talk to you all soon. Go Sens, go.